Welcome to Primal Armor, a podcast centered on helping each and every listener strive for a healthier tomorrow. I'm your host, Jeff Kimple, and I'll be covering every aspect within the field of health, helping you build that strong foundation for improving your physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, and more. It's time to take your personal wellness into your own hands, and Primal Armor is going to help you reach those goals. I just want to thank you for taking the time today to tune in and listen to today's topic. Enjoy. Before we get started into the episode, I just want to take a few seconds to thank today's sponsor, Anchor Podcasts. They allow me to create and edit these podcasts for you guys. They're also the ones who distribute this podcast to other platforms such as Spotify and the Apple Podcast app on your phone, so you guys can listen to it anywhere at any time. It's everything needed all in one app. I encourage you all to get started today. Go download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm and follow the podcast. For episode 16 of the podcast, I want to piggyback a little bit off of what we covered last week. If you didn't listen to last week's episode, I covered a lot of good information on what you can be doing during this time to be boosting your immune system to fight off COVID-19. One point that I mentioned specifically was that you need to be incorporating some sort of exercise into your daily routine to be boosting your immune system. Although, I didn't go into great detail about that. I wanted to save that for this week's episode because there's a lot of information to cover regarding this topic. At this time, we necessarily don't know when these stay-at-home restrictions are finally going to lift and be over, so it can be daunting with no end in sight. The only thing you can and should be doing right now is trying to take care of yourself the best you can and stay as healthy as possible during this time. Exercise is one of the best ways a person can boost their immune system. The immune system works by traveling throughout the bloodstream in the body, fighting off foreign pathogens trying to cause illness, as well as anything else that the body deems not natural. The best way to promote proper blood flow throughout the entire body is by exercising. The hardest part about that, all gyms are closed right now, and if most, if not all of you, don't have the pleasure of owning your own home gym. Even all state parks are shut down, so that limits us even further because hiking's out of the question. So this has to be a time where we get really creative with what we're doing for exercises and movements, as well as how we structure them to keep them short, fun, and effective. Comparatively to the rest of society, the average Joe can get the benefit they need just by trying to get outside and go for a walk, or even doing some yard work around the house as the weather keeps warming up. This accomplishes goals that many want to get done around the house, but also keeps us moving throughout the day instead of being cooped up inside on the couch with nothing to do. Any movement during this time is better than nothing. At this point, not only will it help affect your physical health, but it can help with your mental health as well, with people going stir crazy being stuck inside for weeks on end, especially since a lot of people are out of jobs or are working from home, so they have no real reason to leave their house. This gives you a reason to finally get outside and accomplish something and to feel better about yourself. But to actually get into working out, this is when it can just start to get really overwhelming for a person who doesn't know how to structure them properly because there's so many movements out there. And then they wonder, how do you even build a workout out of these movements? Most people don't have any sort of gym equipment at home, so they have nothing to work with and nowhere to start. Well, there's two ways that you can break down these movements, and I recommend making a list of them so you can choose a variety of them each time that you work out so you can keep things fun and exciting, and so you're not doing the same thing every single day. The two ways you can break these down are with bodyweight movements that take absolutely no equipment at all, or by using everyday household items as makeshift exercise equipment. And that's where creativity really comes into play. First, let's cover the bodyweight movements. There are countless amounts of these out there that you can find, and they can be split up into upper body exercises, lower body exercises, core, and full body exercises. You can pick however you want to split them up, and you can do a mixture of everything to get a full body workout in for the day, or you can split them up and do upper body exercises on one day or lower body the next. There's no wrong answer here. It's just going to be whatever you prefer to do that actually gets you moving. Full body workouts target every muscle in the body, but you're not able to go nearly as hard as when you split it up because you can't just beat yourself up for the next day if you're going to be planning on exercising again. Splitting those up between upper body and lower body allows you to hit those muscle groups harder because you have a day in between to rest, but it limits you on what you can do for that day. I'm going to list off just a handful of bodyweight exercises that you can write down and incorporate into your daily routine. Some of which you might have heard of, some of which you might not have. And since we're on a podcast and this is a listening platform, if you have any questions, feel free to get a hold of me to answer anything you need, or even Googling or YouTubing these movements can give you a good explanation of what they are. Some really good upper body and complete bodyweight movements are push-ups and just all variations of that, like wall push-ups or push-ups from your knees, or if you're really advanced, even doing clapping push-ups. If you have a sturdy enough door, you could try to do pull-ups off of that, or if you're not strong enough to fully pull yourself up, you can even do dead hangs off that door to work on grip strength. Holding a plank from the push-up position works both your shoulders and your core quite a bit. And if you can get outside and you have enough space, bear crawls and sprinting also work on a significant amount of muscles in your body. And just another one that not many people think of, that is a really good accessory movement, and that you should be working on right now is Superman's. It's just where you lay on your stomach and you just use your arms and your legs sprawled out in front of you, and you use your back muscles to lift both those off the ground. It might not seem like much, but these are muscles that aren't used very often. So if you can be utilizing those during this time to strengthen muscles that are rarely used, when you actually get back into the gym, you'll notice a huge difference. Some good lower body exercises are lunges, and those can be done forwards, backwards, and sideways in all directions that are going to work different muscles. You can also be doing squats and all variations of those, single-legged, jumping squats, or even tempo squats. And then you can do tempos going down or tempos coming up. You can do broad jumps and see how far you can jump in between each one, or you can do vertical jumps and really work on your power and explosion. Lying on the ground and doing glute bridges or even single leg glute bridges are very important that you can be doing right now. And you can also throw in some full body exercises for cardio that take no equipment at all, like mountain climbers or burpees. And these are all just things that you can be doing right now without any weights or equipment. You just need a little bit of space and your own body to get a good workout in. You can really start adding to that list of movements though if you have very minimal equipment, just like a set of dumbbells, a kettlebell, or anything else that you can use for added weight. Your equipment can also be everyday household objects as well. There are plenty of things that you can do with something just as simple as a chair. You can do step-ups onto the chair, or you can even do some dips off of it. If you have a dumbbell, you can position yourself to do single-arm rows on that chair as well. You can stand up off the step of the stairs, and you can give yourself just enough range of motion for calf raises. You can find something just a little bit heavier in your house, like a couple of buckets, fill them with water, and just do some deadlifts or some farmer's carries with them. You can find an empty book bag or a duffel bag and fill it with just whatever you want to make it as heavy as you want, so you can have some resistance doing lunges or squats or anything else that you can think of. You can take a bottle of water or cans of food or even just milk jugs, and you can use those in place of dumbbells and just do higher reps for things such as bicep curls and shoulder raises. There are so many different things that you can be utilizing around your house for a good workout, and it just takes some imagination. The list is almost endless if you're creative enough. The problem is, a lot of people can think of a long list of exercises to do, but they just don't know how to structure it well enough to make an effective workout or to keep them on track. For most people, just incorporating these things into your daily routine is enough to get the body moving and the heart pumping and working towards a healthier lifestyle. But some people are frequent gym goers and they need structure to ensure an effective workout. And then this is where more creativity needs to come into place. The most effective way of getting in a workout just with these types of movements is to maximize intensity. Since loads aren't going to be heavy, intensity will have to be done with speed and power. The best and quickest way to do this is by doing something called Tabata training. If you've never heard of this, it's 20 seconds of work at whatever specific movement that you want to do, followed by 10 seconds of rest. And that goes on for 8 rounds. These 20 seconds are supposed to be as hard as you can possibly go, and in 8 rounds, or the 4 minutes that it ends up to be, you will feel crushed. If you pick a handful of movements and cycle through a Tabata of each of them, you can have a quick workout that is very effective and can target all the muscles in the body. You can also take this concept and play with the time, and you can work for longer, rest for less, or vice versa. This will ensure you that you get a killer workout no matter what movement you choose to do. Another style that I like to utilize in my training and I tell people about all the time is every minute on the minute type of training. This allows you to pick multiple movements that you can get done within a minute and cycle through them for however long you want. For example, if you have 20 minutes to spare, you can do a workout of 5 push-ups, 5 sit-ups, and 5 squats for every minute for 20 minutes. And the quicker you get them done, the longer you have the rest in that minute. By the end of 20 minutes, you have completed 100 squats, sit-ups, and push-ups. And this is just a great way to get a lot done in a very little amount of time. You can use these 2 style workouts and pair them with almost all the movements that I listed earlier, and this will give you thousands of different workouts to utilize during this time. While we might not be having an actual end date in sight, this won't last forever, and just these few tips should give you plenty enough to work with for the time being. This should be enough to get you your workout fix while you're waiting for your return to the gym, or even give you a great start for your workout journey and get you to a place where you feel comfortable finally stepping foot into the gym. So while this time might really suck, just being stuck inside and social distancing, keeping us away from our friends and our loved ones, there's been one really cool thing that I've been realizing. This time has been making people go stir crazy, just having them sit inside with nothing to do. So it's pushed a lot of people to begin exercising or to start exercising even more. I've seen countless people now who finally have used this time to start moving more and devoting time to exercise. Humans have this tendency to just want to rebel against what others tell them to do. So while a lot of these people do enjoy just staying inside and doing nothing, being forced to stay inside has changed a lot of people's perspective and have gotten them to actually want to go outside, go on runs, get workouts done outdoors, and just enjoy this warmer weather that's starting to happen. So while this whole situation really does suck, I do like to see the silver lining to all of that, and it's just really helped a lot of people branch out in this aspect and start working towards a healthier lifestyle. Make sure during this time that you're doing everything you can to keep moving and staying healthy. Going back to last episode, keeping your immune system strong is the only thing that you can be doing to help yourself and the others around you. And exercise is one of the best things that you can do for a healthy immune system. So take my advice and these tips that we just went over and start applying them to your life. The next handful of weeks should be spent focusing on being a healthier person than you were before all of this started. Better nutrition, better sleep, and more exercise. We all finally have the time to focus on it now, so no more excuses. It's time to take your health into your own hands and finally hold yourself accountable.